Hey guys, it's Christian. Welcome to Business Tech Watch. Today we're going to be talking about Blackberry. But first, let's pay attention to former head of the NSA, General Keith Alexander, who created his own cybersecurity firm, known as IronNet Cybersecurity. He charges about $1 million a month for its services, going to show that cybersecurity may very well be the industry of the future. And that ties into exactly the future of Blackberry. Now, we all know about Blackberry's fall from grace, but a few people believe that they can't necessarily come back from it, and that essentially it should either go private or go out of business. However, I would assert that Blackberry does in fact have a chance of having a comeback. Now, first we can look at its stock. Now, of course, Blackberry's stock won't necessarily reach the same heights that it had in the late 2000s or during its golden ages. But since December of 2013, it has been up about 61% roughly. Now, secondly, we can see that Blackberry has new leadership, which will lead it to a comeback. In 2003, their new CEO was named John Chen, who was the former CEO of a company by the name of Sybase. He was able to restructure its operations in order to make it profitable within the enterprise industry. So given that John Chen has had the experience of making a company profitable again, we can see that John Chen really might be the man for the job when it comes to Blackberry trying to reach its way back to prominence. He's not necessarily alone. He recently appointed a new COO by the name of Marty Beard. Now, Marty Beard, though, was the former CEO of a cloud computing services company by the name of LiveOps. The reason why he's so important to the operations of Blackberry is that he spent much of his professional career focusing on the enterprise industry. Now, given that Blackberry's main focus is to refocus itself to the enterprise industry, the combination of John Chen and Marty Beard could very well mean the comeback of Blackberry. But beyond its leadership, we can see that lastly, what will make Blackberry able to have a successful comeback is its new strategy and how it's going to position itself in the market. Now, we see that Blackberry is going to brand itself as a company that will promote security for companies that use its devices. Recently, Blackberry has acquired SecuSmart. By acquiring SecuSmart, Blackberry is able to add call security to almost all its devices. This new strategy, and certainly by acquiring new technologies from other companies, Blackberry will certainly play into the future of the Internet of Things, where we have billions and billions of devices connected to the internet. And with that connectivity and those new networks, we can see that there's going to be an increased demand for security. And we already see that inherently we have a lot of companies already having their security being breached by hackers, and a lot of that information of consumers being compromised. The only question is, will Blackberry be able to beat Apple and other competitors to the punch? And when we look towards the future, we can see that the answer may very well be yes. We can see this with Blackberry's new program called Blackberry Guardian. Now, we don't necessarily have a lot of information on Blackberry Guardian, but what we do know is that it's ultimately going to provide more security for these companies' devices by monitoring the security of the apps that they have on employee devices. So if we take into account their new leadership and their new security strategy, Blackberry may very well have something new on its hand and something exciting to make it a company that could very well be successful again. Now, there are some barriers that Blackberry will have to account for before it can actually make a comeback. Number one, we can see that its market share on the mobile devices platform and the marketplace still continues to shrink. Secondly, we can see that also Apple, the company that essentially knocked Blackberry out of the consumer market, is also now starting to cut into the enterprise market. Recently, Ford Motors announced that they are going to take their employees off Blackberry devices and onto Apple iPhone devices. Also, we can see Apple's new partnership with IBM could spell trouble for Blackberry when it comes to maintaining their stronghold in the enterprise industry and making sure that companies use their devices and not Apple's. If consumer tastes continue to move to the idea that we need to combine work and play on our devices, then Blackberry could be in some serious trouble. But if Blackberry can maintain their current strategy and make its way through the markets and consumer taste, then they could very well become a very important company in mobile devices again, primarily because they're going to be able to argue that their devices are the most secure. And in an age where information can be taken in a blink of an eye, BlackBerry will be your most safe option when it comes to running a business or having communications for a major corporation. And if they can have that stake and have that on their playing field, then BlackBerry could definitely become a powerhouse once again. This has been Business Tech Watch. My name is Christian Cordova. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. And remember to never stop venturing.